Georgia. Georgia. What's going on with our mayors? What's going on? What's happening? Why is it that it seems like a whole lot of nefarious things are going on? I'm confused. Look, it's your host, Bruce GNT, back with another video. And we have to talk about what's going on with the Jonesboro Mayor. And I saw this a few days ago, and I'm always the type to wait to find out more information, to really mine out what I can and see what we could talk about. But apparently she announced that she was going to step down during, I believe, a council meeting and reverse her decision pretty quickly. All I know is that when I saw that, alarm bells went off and I was like, that is shady, because why would you just announce that you're going to step down like that? And then now it's coming out that she reversed it. She's like, no, I'm not going to step down. Yeah, we got to see that spending. We got to look at your spending now. Now we're definitely going to pay attention to it, because that's a weird sequence of events. It's weird. It's weird. But before we jump into this video, don't forget to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe if you want more, because I will be paying attention to this. All the mayors in Georgia, I'm sorry. And New York, too. What's wrong with my two states? It's crazy. But let's jump right in.
Good evening. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. We begin tonight in Jonesboro. Mayor Donya Sarter abruptly announcing she is stepping down during a special called meeting.
That's right. She's been in office since 2023. The move comes after the city council asked for a forensic audit of her spending, and tonight Sarter is clarifying why she is stepping down. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido is live tonight in front of the Jonesboro City Center in Clayton County. Angelina, she says it's not because...
Well, Ron and Jennifer, that is exactly the first thing that she said once they got out of the executive session today. And she said she wanted to make sure that people knew it was not because of the audit, but she did choose the date that she will be leaving to make sure that she complies with this audit. And to be clear here, she says that she's not quitting, but she is leaving.
I'm rendering my resignation as mayor of the city of Jonesboro.
Through her tears.
April 19th.
Hold on a second. We do know what the word resignation means. It's to essentially quit. It's a more formal way of saying that you're quitting. Like, if I resign from a position, I'm leaving, no longer conducting the duties, no longer getting paid after a certain point in time, and I will no longer be in that position. So I'm quitting. Come on, don't try to finesse.
2025. I specifically selected this date so I can fully cooperate with the requested forensic audit.
Mayor Donya Sarter, Jonesboro's first black mayor, resigned from the city's top job. She cites a forensic audit the council members around her asked for, but says she's done nothing wrong.
Although there's been no specific allegations against me from council regarding any wrongdoing, and I attest to the same. It's important that my tenure concludes with those findings of no wrongdoing or mismanagement of funds.
Sarter was first elected in 2023.
We had a record number of voters.
It's the same year the Georgia Bureau of Investigation was asked to review allegations she pointed a gun at a police lieutenant.
I transferred the gun from a locked drawer to my purse in front of him. It was never aimed toward him. It was not a loaded gun also.
The Clayton County DA never pursued charges. In 2024, two former Jonesboro police officers filed a federal lawsuit against Sarter in the city, alleging they were fired in retaliation for reporting misconduct. For each incident, Sarter maintained the allegations were an attempt to force her out of office.
I don't quit, and this isn't quitting. I chose myself.
Now, we did reach out to the other council members to try and get some sort of reaction from them. We still have not heard back. The mayor pro tem will be taking over. The mayor promises that that transition will be smooth. From my understanding here, this is a very emotional decision for the mayor to make. It has been a very stressful few months, and the days leading up to today have been extremely stressful for her. I did get in contact with her a few hours ago.
Look, we ain't gonna listen to all that. It seems weird, and you can't tell me it's not weird. Like, it's different. She did it at the beginning of the year. Okay, fine. That would have made more sense. But we hear an audit coming out. You already have other allegations about, you know, your conduct and how you're pretty much using your power in a malicious way. And The whole thing is just strange. And then with her being so emotional, there's more to this story. But because of that, because I'm such a decent host, I didn't say great. I'm not great. Because I'm such a decent host, we got some more to look into. So let's jump right into this next video where we're kind of mining out her decision to kind of not resign and to stay on, seemingly. Let's go.
Yeah, what a stunning reversal. She says that she talked with her constituents, she talked with her inner political circle, and she decided after those conversations that she would not be resigning. She says she's going to be holding a news conference later this morning. We plan to be there. But yeah, she was emotional during that announcement that was made during a special council meeting. Zarder is Jonesboro's first black mayor, taking office in 2023. When announcing her resignation yesterday during that special council meeting, she said that she chose to step down so she could fully cooperate with a forensic audit of her spending. Here she is defending herself.
It's important that my tenure concludes with those findings of no wrongdoing or mismanagement of funds.
You can hear it in her voice right there, but after that, she changed her mind. We received this statement overnight. It says, in part, and I'm quoting here, "When I gave the indication, I was under duress by several colleagues who may have nefarious reasons for trying to force me out of my duly elected position." She goes,
and you guys can read that on the screen. Look, some of you may not know, but in my friend group, in my circles, I'm known as, the devil's advocate. And one thing I can say is that it's a very strong possibility that what she's saying is true. But my thing is, what is it that your colleagues, within the city council, whatever, what is it that they could be saying to make you decide, you know what, I'm going to resign right around the time that they decide to do an audit? What could they possibly be saying to you? That's what's confusing to me. And there's no way she doesn't understand the optics on this and realize, okay, this doesn't look good. This doesn't make me look good. This makes me look like I have something to hide. And we can sit here and talk about what she said she had nothing to hide. Yeah, so did Tiffany Henyard. So did Eric Adams. So did Brandon Johnson. So does the St. Louis mayor down there in Missouri. Like, all these people say they have nothing to hide. Then when you keep looking, you go, wait a minute, this is some shit to hide. But like I said, I'm devil's advocate. Maybe it's a strong possibility, but the optics around it just doesn't look good. Look, we gotta be real. The shit, it looked like she was up to something. That's what I'm saying. And if it comes out that she is up to something, like I've said in my other videos, we as the community, the black community, need to really sit down and think about. I don't even like using that, moniker, but us in the black community, we gotta sit down and think about who we're electing. And whether or not we're actually electing these people because they can do the job and they have the qualifications to do the job. And when I say qualifications, I don't mean that they have a few degrees or because they're black and whatnot. I mean legit qualifications, and they have shown that they are going to take care of the city and not just give us a whole bunch of lip service, right? We need to sit down and really think about, okay, are we really vetting the right people? And I'm not saying that there's no white people or other people of different, ethnicities that are out there messing their cities up, because they are, and we talk about them. But come on now. Lori Lightfoot, Tiffany Henyard, Brandon Johnson, Eric Adams, I can't remember her name over there in St. Louis, but her, London Breed over in San Francisco, the mayor over in South Fulton, his name is kind of hard to pronounce. I'm not going to butcher it either. But you know who I'm talking about. When are we going to sit down and go, okay, you know what? We're just going to look at who does the job best, not the color of their skin. But let's jump into when she kind of like addresses everything. And if it's too long, I'll try to like slice it up to make it easier for us to like really talk about and condense it, because we don't have all day.
I've changed my mind and will not offer a resignation as mayor. Specifically speaking, when I gave the indication, I was under distress by several colleagues who have nefarious reasons for trying to force me out of my duly elected position. I believe that although it would personally be favorable to my family and me, I cannot in my heart let down the citizens, the thousands of citizens who are dependent on me to fulfill and complete my office as mayor of the city of Jonesboro. Also, I'm a proud graduate of Emory University, Georgia State University, and Clark Atlanta University. I have a record of finishing what I start, and I'll finish this job as mayor. Accordingly, after consulting with my legal counsel and under Georgia state law,
I was about to say that. I was like, this is not because she's talked to her constituents and, you know, it's because she's had some legal counsel and they say, yo, don't do this. This don't look good. Because, no. Like, mayors are batting 0 for 1 million right now due to, like, a lot of things that they're coming out and saying that people are misappropriating funds. So they said, don't do this. You're not, now she has a spotlight set on her. This probably wouldn't have been a story if she didn't come out and say this. But because it was done in such an abrupt way and an emotional way as well, now people are sitting down going, what you been up to?
in the charter of the city of Jonesboro, there is currently no vacancy in the mayor's office, and there is no resignation from the mayor. Also, it came to my attention officially via social media post that some members of the council have called a special call meeting for this evening at 6 p.m. to accept my resignation. Secondly, according to state law and our city charter, there can be no special call meetings without first providing the mayor and council at least 48 hours notice. That notice would have had to be delivered personally to me and all city council members on Wednesday, March 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Therefore, I will not be attending an unlawful meeting this evening. And therefore, there can be no lawful meeting of the council this evening to accept a resignation that simply does not exist and has not been tendered. Thank you.
Mayor, first of all,
you see this? Am I off? Like, tell me in the comments below, am I off? She said she was going to resign. And I'm guessing during that time they decided to, host a, special meeting and whatnot. They can't do that because it has to be sent to her within 48 hours, that following night or whatever. And due to her legal counsel and what she's done, to kind of rescind her resignation, she's like, well, they can't do it because it doesn't exist. And it's like, but you were going to do. Let me know if I'm off. Maybe I misheard. Maybe I'm not understanding something. But that sounds real shady. And it sounds like she's trying to do I don't know what you guys are talking about. I mean, but we all heard you.
Not mince words. You keep using the word I indicated I was. You resigned. And you gave an effective date. That was a resignation, wasn't it?
Right now, we're calling it an indication. I am still the existing mayor for the city of Jonesboro. Currently, there is no resignation that has been appropriately tendered to the council.
What was the pressure you were getting from some of your colleagues?
Well, we can call it pressure, but you can also, the battle has been very public. You all have followed me, Tom, I know you have, for this entire journey. From being asked to tell my whereabouts when I leave the city limits of Jonesboro for more than 24 hours. Not only that I'm gone for more than 24 hours, but where I am for more than 24 hours. For sitting in a council meeting with a council member sitting next to me saying, for the record, that he stalks my house, and when I'm out of town, he pays someone to stalk my house. You've most recently seen them rescind my health benefits. You've also seen the legal battle that we had by unjustly having interrogation or investigation in regard to unfounded claims that I had a gun. So when you talk about pressure that's mounting up, yeah, there was a 2-hour executive session prior to this decision, but it's been almost 18 months of constant harassing of this current position that I've been in, a constant attack of the powers that were bestowed upon me by a charter established in 1859 with the state of Georgia, that I simply just want to be able to do what I am lawfully elected to do. For the record, there has never been any allegation that has been proven to be true in regard to abuse of any power that I have been bestowed upon me by virtue of this position.
Look, heavy is the crown, all right? That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to relate this to the president, but the same thing could be said when you hold any type of position where you're the leader, whether it's political, social, economic, and everything like that. You have to go through trial by fire, so to speak, where you're gonna have people come at you and say things about you that may not be true. It happens to everyone, and if you're not ready for that, if you don't have the thick skin for that, you should really think about it. You should really think about and try to consider, you know what, is this what you really want to go for? I'm not saying that anything that she's gone through is, you know, justified, you know, and if she could prove any of what she's saying when it comes to, you know, a council member saying, hey, look, I stalk your house. That seems a bit extreme, but it's very much possible it could be the case. You know, when it comes to them wanting to know where she's at, you know, if she's going to be gone from the city of Jonesboro for more than 24 hours, to me personally, and this is where I talk about, you know, my military experience and say, hey, look, that makes sense to me because that's how it was for us, because we have a duty. We're essentially working 24/7. That's how that works. So we have to let people know where we're going if it's outside of a 24-hour radius. That's just how it is. And when you're working as a city employee, a mayor, someone has to take care of a city, that makes sense to me. I could be off. I could be a little bit wrong, but to me that makes sense because you're in charge of that city. Anything goes wrong is on you because you're the leader. So for me personally, that makes sense. I see nothing wrong with that. May seem invasive, it is, but like I said, heavy is the crown.
You brought up that forensic audit. That kind of muddled the waters a little bit because it almost applied some thought process that you might have been accused of some wrongdoing, even though you said you weren't.
Let's be clear on that. I'm going to unmuddy the water right now. You all should all be familiar with forensic audit. A forensic audit requires, under normal circumstances, clear allegation of inappropriate action as it relates to monetary gain or monetary events of the city. I have asked the council on the dais, for the record, on 3 different council meetings, what are the allegations? What are you implying? And they have yet to give one. When we put out an RFP, it was a broad RFP for the forensic auditors to come in. If I can be personal and honest, it's another waste of taxpayers' money that will come up that shows no wrongdoing on my part, and that's what I clearly stated, that I want to be here. And now I'll be here not only for that, the results of that forensic audit, but I'll be here to the conclusion of my term.
Ms. Mayor, you said it's important that your tenure concludes with the findings of no wrongdoing or mismanagement of funds yesterday. So were you concerned that it might find otherwise?
No, I've never been concerned. What I'm concerned about is that my council goes through these wild goose chases at the cost of the taxpayers' money. A forensic audit requires clear allegations, somewhat to a criminal intent. I have asked them several times in public forums, what is it that you have accused me of? Like, for example, you do a forensic audit, if they can say the mayor used her credit card inappropriately. They can't say that because I provided them all the credit card statements. If there was something, trust me, you all know this council, they're quick to come out and say what I've done wrong. If I had done anything wrong.
That's fair. That's fair. Look, my thing is this. Talk is cheap. We're going to see, you know, when it comes out. Do I think that she's done anything when it comes to the funds of, and, you know, using her credit card inappropriately, you know, taxpayer money and everything like that? Personally, I don't think so. I think there's other things going on, possibly, you know, because everything that's come up against it, not so much related to funds, it's always come up to like misappropriate use of power. That's pretty much what it seems like so far. And it's very much possible that her counsel really is just against her. Stuff like that does happen. I just hope it's not a situation like Tiffany Henry where she's saying the counsel's against her, then it's like, but wait a minute, the receipts say this, so you can't say that. Yeah, this whole thing, like I said, I'm going to be paying attention to it because I can't preach this enough. We need to make sure that the people that we're voting into office, whether it's, you know, in the city council, it's the mayor, the governor, the senate, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. We need to make sure that these people are the proper representation of us and what we want and how we view our city, our state, our county, whatever have you. We need to make sure that this is done correctly, especially within the Black community. Look, we're all for putting our people in high places to make sure that we're equally represented. But at the end of the day, if they effing up, we can't just keep throwing them in there and be like, oh, we want representation. Yeah, that's how we end up getting screwed with Lori Lightfoot's, Brandon Johnson's, Tiffany Henry's, and everything in between. And if that's what you want, cool, go ahead. I'm not going to be part of that. I'm going to vote the person in that I know is going to be able to do the job the most effective way possible. So, yeah, y'all sit there with that. But you guys know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you want more, because there will be more. I will be paying attention to this, just like I'm paying attention to what's going on over there in South Fulton with their mayor. And, yeah, he got his comeuppance. Yeah, but that's it for now. Peace.